everybody, I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and today I'm going to show you how to roast a whole stuffed turkey. Now it's the holidays, it's Easter, but you can do the same thing any time of year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any other time you want to have a turkey. So we're going to roast this in the oven today. I was going to go outside, but it is still a little bit too cold here for me. So this is what we're doing. This has been washed. The giblets and the turkey neck have been taken out. I'm going to cook them separately. You can check out the show for how to boil turkey neck and giblets. Otherwise, I already have some stuffing made, ready to go. This recipe is a gorgeous gluten-free tiger nut bread and date stuffing. Make sure you check out that recipe. That's what we're going to be stuffing this guy with, but feel free to use whatever stuffing you like. So let's get started. It needs to be nice and dry after you wash it, okay? If it's not dry, your butter won't stick to it, and you'll just get sweaty turkey in the oven. It won't crisp up the skin nicely. You want to make sure that it's nice and dry. So I'm going to go ahead and slather this beautiful bird with some butter. So sometimes I roast my turkey's breast side down to keep the breast meat nice and moist, but this is a small turkey. It's not going to be in the oven for a long time. I don't think it'll have much of a chance to really dry out anyway, so we're good to go. So I'm going to slather the back side first with butter all over. You want to massage it in there. Get it in all the nooks and crannies. This is going to ensure not only a flavorful turkey, but a nice crispy turkey as well. Okay, so today I'm using just some basic spices. Use whatever you guys traditionally like in your household, but I'll tell you what we're doing. Salt, pepper, all over. A little bit of poultry seasoning, or sometimes we'll use gumbo filet. That's a nice flavor as well. Just depends on our mood that day. A little bit of cayenne pepper, a little bit of paprika. If you like onion powder or garlic powder, feel free to do that. I tend to shy away from that when I'm doing my turkey because I like to cook my turkey roasted at a very high heat to begin with. And when you use spices like onion and garlic on the outside, they tend to burn and become bitter when they cook like that. So it's not a good look. All right, flip that guy over and proceed to butter the rest of your bird. Now I take my butter, whatever I think I'm going to be using, probably a couple tablespoons, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 for a big turkey, and I put it in a separate bowl. Don't put your hands back into the butter bowl. You'll be contaminating it and possibly getting yourself sick. So don't do that, okay? If you have any extra butter left, get it in the cavity, okay? You also want to season the cavity before you stuff the bird. All right, massage it all in there. This is a lovely utility turkey we're using. Now don't be afraid to use a utility turkey. There might be one small piece missing, one part missing. There might be a wing tip or something gone, or maybe it doesn't have all the giblets. But usually it's way less expensive, and I mean, it's just as good a turkey. Big deal. All right, same thing on this side. Pepper, salt, poultry seasoning, a little bit of cayenne, a little bit of paprika. Let's get our oven preheated before I start stuffing. I'm going to preheat to 425 degrees. All right, I'm also going to season inside the cavity before I stuff. All the same stuff. Okay, so then proceed to stuff your bird. I start with the back cavity first. And if I have any extra stuffing, then I will try and stuff the neck cavity as well, if I have to. Now with this stuffing, you don't have to stuff a bird with it. You could actually just cook this separately in the oven if you wanted to and not do the whole stuffing of the bird. Some people don't like that, don't like to cook it that way. And that's totally fine. Just put it in a casserole dish. Make sure it's moist enough. If you need a little bit extra broth, then add it slowly but surely and do a taste test before you serve. That's it. This is a gorgeous stuffing. Make sure you're washing your hands. Don't contaminate your counter and things like that. Anything you've touched, make sure you disinfect. I made just enough stuffing. So in order to hold all this stuffing in, this is just like an open cavity, you want it to stay there, right? So what I like to do is I like to use a large fruit, usually an apple or an orange. You could even use a potato if you wanted to. I've used a grapefruit before. Whatever you have on hand that makes sense. that can stuff that cavity. So make sure you core it, wash it and core it. This is a smaller apple, so what I'll probably do is use both halves. And then the apple is also edible and really delicious when you're done. So just go ahead and push that in and make sure it stays there. And I'm gonna use the other half. Beautiful. Now sometimes you have a big enough piece of turkey skin, the flap at the back, that you can overlap and skewer, and that's what I'm gonna do next. So you can either use a small skewer or a larger skewer and just weave that through, or if you have one big fruit or vegetable, you can just stick it right into the stuffing straight through. So what I'm gonna do is a little bit of both here. I'm going to weave my way through the skin, through the apple, back out on the other side, and through that skin to secure it on the other side. Basically, do what you gotta do to keep that thing shut. There we go. Alright, now I've got my roasting pan. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to go ahead and spray that quickly, or you can grease it up, and into the roaster it goes. So I have my oven on convection at 425. I have the all the racks out except the bottom one, so this fits in. You don't want this near the top racks, right? So in the oven it goes. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna go for at least 15 minutes. I wanna try and brown this up so that then I can put a loose foil tent on top and allow that to turn down and cook on a lower heat. But I wanna get the skin nice and browned at this point. Some people do it opposite. Some people cook it the whole time and then brown at the end, but I like to do it this way. All right, it's been about 20 minutes. You can see that some of your spices and that butter has started to brown on the top. And that's what we've got going on. I even have some fat rendering already. So what I'm gonna do now is loosely put a foil tent over top. Very loosely, just like that, like so. And that's gonna be its little home to camp out in while it's roasting for the next couple hours. I usually go about 20 minutes per pound of turkey. This is just over a 12-pound turkey. This is gonna be around 4 hours to finish roasting. But you wanna make sure that you're checking with your digital thermometer. Leaving it in the oven for the first 20 minutes on such a high heat also really kickstarts things. So you might be done even earlier than you expected. If you're using a turkey that has been brined, and I do that often, check out my brine recipes, you're gonna like those too. A brined turkey will cook much quicker than a non-brined turkey. Also, my turkey was completely defrosted. So if your turkey wasn't completely defrosted, it's gonna also take a little bit longer as well. So you're gonna have to use your digital thermometer, make sure that it's to the right temperature, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go. So I'm gonna probably check on this every 45 minutes or so. Check on it, baste it. If there's some nice pan juices in the bottom, you're gonna baste it with a nice big brush or a basting tool, and that's it. We're gonna let her rip. And it goes. I'm turning it down to, you can go between 350 and 325 depending on how quickly you want it done. Let's check this turkey. This is my second checking. It's been going for about an hour and a half now extra. Use my giant basting brush. We've got some great drippings. Get that all over the top and glistening. And get it right back in the oven for just some extra time. She looks beautiful, Mom.
Good. Beautiful is the word.
And back into the oven for some more time. All right, it's been another hour on this turkey. Let's baste her again. And I'm gonna actually take a temperature reading this time, just to know where I'm at. She looks beautiful, she smells beautiful. We've got lots of nice drippings for gravy. Perfect. Let me show you how lovely she is. Look at that bird. Woohoo! Okay, we're gonna take a reading. I need this to read 160 degrees Fahrenheit. You can remove it at that temperature and it'll rise another 5 degrees once you take it out of the oven. So 165 is your goal, okay? So I'm going to actually take a reading in this thigh meat here, as well as in the breast near the stuffing, but not in the stuffing. We're at 155. We're pretty darn close. All right, so I would say maybe another 20 minutes or so, and we should be exactly where we need to be. Back in the oven, it's gonna go We'll see her then. Get all the rest of your sides ready. I'm almost there too with that. All right, this turkey should be done. Let's check it one more time. Make sure with your thermometer. You might want to check a few different places as well. A nice part of the dark meat near a joint. Oh yeah, we're good to go. The dark meat takes longer anyway than the white meat. So we're gonna let this rest. Let this rest for about 5 minutes or so before I remove it out of here so I can access the gorgeous drippings, okay? I'm also starting to get my gravy ready. So make sure you check out my gravy shows so you know how to do that too. So our gorgeous turkey's been resting. I'm going to remove it from the roasting pan so I can use the drippings for gravy, okay? So be very gentle and just transfer her. I'm gonna put her on a cookie sheet. It makes it easier for me to access and to cut the meat, get things organized. There you go. So let me show you this gorgeous turkey a little better. There she is, okay? So we're going to be able to remove that stuffing in a hot second too, but I want to get this gravy started, okay? Beautiful. All right, so I'm just gonna carve my turkey. Do whatever you gotta do. I'm gonna get my beautiful drummies off. You can tell how beautiful and tender everything is, moist, gorgeous. You want to keep that skin nice and crispy. I like to just group the dark meat together and then the white meat or the breast meat together as well, so that people can choose what they like. I don't think I need to carve the whole turkey, but we'll carve some of each, yeah? Make sure people have access to some of that nice crispy skin. This looks gorgeous. So moist. So it's as easy as that. Make sure people have little pieces that they can grab. And there you go, a gorgeous platter of turkey, and I've got a whole ton left to go too. We do a quick taste test. My favorite part is the breast meat. I love that. Now the breast meat typically tends to dry out, especially if you cooked it breast side up, but that is beautifully moist and tender. Crispy skin, so full of flavor. I can hardly wait to serve everybody. That's it. That's how you roast a whole stuffed turkey. You can do it, okay? Don't be afraid to stuff that turkey. It's a great way to do it. Your stuffing gets a lot of flavor, and you know, it's a great way to do it. It's just a meal in one, you know? So that's it. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on iFood TV at my.fossum.tv/cookingwithkimberly, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. You can find my channel on Roku, Cooking with Kimberly, and I'm also syndicated on Apple TV and Amazon and a few other places. Come to my website at cookingwithkimberly.com and subscribe, interact with us, and let us know what's going on in your culinary world, all right? Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.